love worshiping with you and seeing you online. Come sign in when you come to our website and click on the watch live tomorrow at 9, 11:15 or 6:30 and then interact with us. I'll be there. I love to go to all 3 services so that I can interact with everybody and see who's there and pray for you and just be able to chat with you. I look forward to it. Invite a friend as well. But today I want to continue on with where we were yesterday. You remember we were in Romans chapter 12, and we looked there at verse 1 and just talked about how we offer ourselves to God every day as a living sacrifice to Him. Our whole lives, who we are, what we do, is something that we do to honor God as we lift it up as an offering to Him. That's what your life is, my friend. But that next verse is really challenging. Can I read it? And I'm going to stay in that Message Bible again. It says, don't become so well adjusted to the culture, to your culture, that you fit into it without even thinking. Isn't that possible? Because we live here in this day, and we interact with the people around us, and everybody has the same mindset of what is appropriate in our culture today, then it's very, very possible for us to just get caught up in the midst of that and don't even think about what is right, what it should be, but instead we get used to what it is right now. And there's lots of things in our culture that God is not happy with. He is not happy that unborn babies are being murdered, in essence. He's not happy about that because they have life from the moment of conception and He puts His life inside of them. So He's not happy about that. He's not happy about those that are older in life and say, I don't feel like living any longer. I'll just let someone take my life. I'll decide when. No, He's not happy about that either. Instead, He wants us to live our full life until He takes our last breath, until it expires that way. He's not happy about some of the lifestyle decisions that people make, where they go and they cheat on their spouse or they do other things. He's not happy about that. That's sin. All of these are sin areas to Him. But guess what? He still loves us. In spite of all of that, He still loves us. But my point is, don't get caught up with being so well adjusted to this culture that you don't even think about. You don't even think about those things from God's perspective. Instead, and this is what He said, instead, fix your attention on God. I love that. You'll be changed from the inside out. When we put our attention onto Him and what His desires are, it changes us inside. I'm going to continue. Readily recognize what He wants from you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to its level of immaturity, God brings the best out of you, developing well-formed maturity in you. Now, you may understand there are other ways that we've heard that in the past, and I think they're very good as well. It says, don't be conformed to this world. When you conform, it's really a decision that you make, that you're willing to be aligned with the system around us and do what is appropriate to fit into the system here instead of pleasing God with what you do. So He said, don't be conformed to this world system, this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove whatever is good and perfect and all of those things, the perfect will of God. So what is He saying? He says we have a choice. Remember, yesterday we talked about choosing to see ourselves, all that we are, all that we do as a living sacrifice to God. That's a choice. And then our mindset, where we focus our mind, is a choice as well. So will you be conformed to what is around here and acceptable to society? Or will you be transformed on the inside by the renewing of your mind, where you focus on what God says, that's in His Word, and then you blossom. Now, the word transformed is metamorphosis. It's the word we get, metamorphosis. And those of you that have been through school and studied how butterflies change to be so beautiful and fulfilling their destiny, they don't start off that way. Well, we don't start off as a finished product either. But when we do it God's way and we focus on what God says, and then we live that out, we start to cooperate with God, we get our mind, renewing our mind, thinking about what God says about us, and then cooperating with his plan for us, the metamorphosis takes place, and we are transformed over a period of time to become the beautiful image of God that others see and say, wow, I love their character. They're so nice to be around. I just wish I could be like that. See, that's what God has for you, my friend. He wants you to be transformed into the image of his dear Son. And that happens through the Word of God as we focus on it and we cooperate with it and we surrender our will to God as a living sacrifice. And as we do that, his perfect will shall be clarified and then lived out in your life. I'm looking forward to it in mine. I'm still under construction. How about you? But don't get discouraged with that. If you fall down, dust yourself off, get back up again, and focus on what God says so that you can continue to grow to be more like Jesus every day. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and I'm just excited about our Sunday presentation where we're worshiping together. And I encourage you, worship with the Lord. When you're there on a Sunday morning, whether you're by yourself or with your family, worship him just like you would when you're in the house of God. I stand up and I worship him in my home. And I don't sing as loud as I do in the church building, but I still honor God and I sing out of my heart and I worship him there. And as I do that, my mind is clarified and I am drawn near to him. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless you.